Welcome to your yoga stretch today, and today it's all about getting grounded. So if you'd like to find yourself a comfortable seated position, you can sit on top of a pillow or a prop if you'd like to. Maybe grab some books or some pillows to support you throughout this session, because it's all about using some yin styles of yoga, so you'll be in positions for slightly longer than normal. Okay, so if you'd like to find a comfortable seated position, you can elevate your hips using a block or a cushion if you'd like. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders down, bring your palms down to your lap and close your eyes. Begin to notice the sensation of your seat bones grounding toward the earth. And notice each part of your body that is touching the earth right now and how that feels. So maybe it's your ankles, your knees, your legs, your seat bones. Notice that sensation of your body and the earth connecting today. Silently repeat to yourself in your head or out loud, I am grounded. And then say, I am safe. And then silently repeat or say out loud, I am centered. Take your eyes to a really soft gaze and start to look around you. Notice 5 things that you can see. Any 5 things at all. And then close down your eyes again. And become aware of 4 things that you can feel. Maybe it's your hand and your knee pressing against each other, or other body parts. Maybe it's the clothing on your skin, or hair brushing on you. And now notice 3 things that you can hear. Now notice 2 things that you can smell. And 1 thing that you can taste. Now that you're grounded, set yourself an intention to bring this sense of grounded throughout your whole practice today. Maybe even for the rest of the week. And when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open. First of all, take your right leg and lift your right leg up. Take your shin so it's about parallel and horizontal, and flex your foot. Take your left leg and do the same thing with your left leg on the ground, and then gently press your ankle just above your left knee and allow your right knee to hover down toward the ground. It may be that there's some space here, and maybe you'd like to take a cushion to alleviate some of that space, or a cushion underneath you to lengthen your spine in your seated pose today. So in your square legs, find a position that feels where you feel some sensation, but you're not necessarily at your maximum or straining too much. And if you are, then simply take it back a little bit. And if you'd like to deepen your stretch or deepen the intensity of this stretch, you then have the option to lower your torso and your chest down toward your legs. Maybe take your hands out beside you or lower your forearms down to the ground. And when you've found your edge, that place where you feel some sensation but you're not at your maximum, allow yourself to commit to stay here for a period of time. Take deep breaths in and out as you ease yourself into the stretch and get yourself grounded, wherever you may be today. Notice the sensations of any stretch or pull you may feel and whereabouts you feel that. It can be different for everyone. And also notice the parts of your body that are pressing down into the earth. Even just by pressing your hands onto the earth or something natural, it can really help you to get grounded at any time. And then gently lift yourself up and release your leg. Maybe shake your legs out if you'd like to a little bit, from side to side. And then take your right leg down to the ground, your shin horizontal, and flex your foot. Lift up your left leg, take your shin horizontal and take your right ankle just above your knee, and then rest your left knee down. Again, if you'd like to, you can take a pillow or a number of pillows to alleviate the pressure between that gap that there may be between your knee and your ankle. You can also sit on lots of props if you'd like to help lengthen your spine. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale to sink deeper into the stretch. Again, you can stay here if you'd like to, or you can take your hands down to the ground maybe, or you can lower your forearms down to the ground and take a fold. Each side might feel slightly different, so you might feel that you can go a little bit further one side than the other, and that's okay. Totally normal. Take long, deep breaths, breathe into your stretch, wherever that might be, and into those sensations, those little nooks and crannies within your muscles, but also within your joints that you're targeting today. And then when you're ready, gently lift yourself up. Uncross your knees and take yourself to a tabletop position. Stretch your left leg behind you and take the ball of your foot down to the ground. Point your hips toward your mat. Have your hands shoulder width distance apart. And then press your heel down toward the ground. And you can do this a little bit and then lift back and keep going into that calf stretch. The more you push back on your heel, the more you'll feel that. If you're looking for more sensation, more of a stretch in your calf, you could also lift your right knee and push your heel down further toward the ground. That's totally optional. Or you can keep your knee on the ground and ease yourself very slowly back into your calf stretch. And up again, take a few moments here. Breathe with it and experiment with your body. How much would you like to stretch your calf today? What kind of sensations can you feel? Whereabouts do those sensations come up as well? What part of your calf muscle maybe? There's loads to it. when you're ready, bring your knee back down to the ground. Stretch your right knee out and come to the ball of your right foot. Gently draw your right heel down toward the ground. Point your hips down toward the mat. And again, you have the option to ease yourself into the stretch, forward and backwards, very slowly. Or if you'd like to, you can also lift your knee and push back a little bit further into your calf stretch today. Drawing your heel down toward the ground. Easing into those little nooks and crannies throughout your calf muscles. You don't usually stretch. Take it at your own pace. And when you're ready, bring your knees down to the ground. Tuck your toes and sit onto your heels. Lengthen your spine, bring your hands down onto your lap. Spread your toes wide on the mat, as wide as they can go. You can maybe take the time to spread each little toe, however's easiest for you. And allow your seat bones then to rest on your heels and put some pressure onto your toes to stretch out each of the little nooks and crannies throughout your toes. If this feels a bit too intense, you can of course lift up slightly, or you could lift your knees. But we won't stay here for too long. This is quite an intense stretch for your little toes, so breathe into it. And then gently lift yourself up, untuck your toes, and pat your backs of your feet down onto the mat. Lower your seat bones down to your heels. Take your hands to your knees and lean backwards ever so slightly to lift your knees up from the ground, targeting an ankle stretch here. Take some long, deep breaths. And notice any sensation you feel, what kind of sensation that feels like to stretch your ankles. It might be a bit of an odd one because we don't always stretch our ankles and toes, so allow yourself to feel whatever is coming up right now. And then when you're ready, slowly lower your knees down to the ground. Take your knees out wide or toward each other. So you can choose in your child's pose today to take a wide leg child's pose, draw your seat bones to your heels with your knees out wide. And this really targets your hips and your hip joints. And if this feels quite intense as well, again, you can also take as many pillows as you'd like. Allow your belly to rest and your head to rest onto those pillows to lessen the sensation here in your child's pose. Allow your forehead to rest down on the ground. And then slowly walk your hands over towards your right side. Lower your chest down, create a side body stretch throughout your left side. Take 2 long, deep breaths in and out of your body. Notice every single part of your body that is touching the ground in this position more than most poses. And allow that to ground you, to bring you closer to the earth. And gently walk your hands over toward your left side. Lower your forehead down to the ground and your chest to the ground. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. And again, just notice any sensations that come up. It could be a stretch in your hips or maybe somewhere else. You may feel one more than the other. And then very gently lift yourself up and bring your knees in, hip width distance apart to your tabletop position. Step your left foot between your hands and lift your torso. Lower your hips down toward the ground and push back up again with your legs into your high flying dragon, which is a yin yoga name for this pose. And in Hatha yoga we usually call it low lunge or Anjaneyasana in Sanskrit. Many names. Take one last deep inhale through your nose here and a deep exhale. Plant your hands around to frame your foot, draw your hips backwards, flex your foot and begin to straighten your leg. Maybe your leg stays slightly bent, that's totally good. Or maybe you'd even like to lift your torso and straighten or bend your leg. So you've got many options here. Actively push your heel forwards and draw your hips backwards. Lift and lengthen your spine as you inhale. And exhale, fold your torso a little bit further. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down to your lunge. Plant your right hand down. Sweep your left hand high toward the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, sweep your hand down and pull back to your half splits. Take it back through your lunge. Plant your hands down and take your left foot back to your tabletop. Step your right foot between your hands. Inhale, lift your torso, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lower your seat bones down and squeeze your legs to push back up as well slightly. And it might be more comfortable to walk your heels slightly further away if you find yourself with your knee over your ankle, so it may be more comfortable to walk your heel further away to bring yourself to more of a 90-degree angle. It's not life-threatening or anything if your knee is over your ankle, so that's okay. Some people might tell you it is. And then inhale, take a deep breath in. And exhale, take a deep breath out. Once more, inhale, deep breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. Plant your hands around to frame your foot. Pull your hips back. Begin to straighten your leg. Maybe you'd like to keep your leg bent here. Push your heel forwards away from you and pull your hips backwards. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold your torso over your knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and bring yourself back to your lunge. Plant your left hand down, sweep your right hand high, reach up. Inhale, and as you exhale, frame your foot around your hand. Draw your hips backwards into your half splits. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Pull back through your lunge. Plant your hands down and step your knee back to your tabletop position. Inhale, lift and open your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, push away from the ground, arch your spine together to the sky in cat. Inhale to lift and open your chest. And exhale to arch your spine into cat. Bring yourself back to a neutral tabletop position. And draw your right knee towards your right wrist. Take your right foot out to a diagonal position in the direction of your left wrist. So just as far as you can go, don't worry about going too far, and flex your foot. Now you have the option to stay here. Maybe you'd also like to take some pillows underneath you, so you can allow your hips to draw down toward the ground. And lift your chest up and open. Inhale and exhale. Slowly lower your torso down toward the ground. Maybe you'd like to take some more pillows to allow you to do this, and that is totally acceptable, especially because you're going to be here for a little longer than normal. And then lower your forearms to the ground, create a pillow with your hands. And actively squeeze your hips down toward the ground as you rest your head on your hands. Make this an active stretch by pulling your hips down toward the ground and sinking deeper into your hips, actively rather than passively. And you can always adjust as to how many cushions you have at any time to make sure that you're in a comfortable position. Actively push your hips down toward the ground. So to show you what that might look like, I'll do a really over-exaggerated version of transitioning from here down and pushing my hips down toward the ground. And that might be just a very small movement for you as you push your hips further toward the ground. Take a moment here, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Gently lift your head, plant your hands down and slide your knee back to a tabletop position. Slide your left knee up to your left wrist. Take your left foot to a diagonal position. Maybe you'd like to stay here. Maybe you'd like to take some pillows, sit underneath as well. That's totally cool. And then stretch your leg back, lower your hips down toward the ground. Lift your chest up and open. Inhale and exhale. Slowly lower your forearms down to the ground. Create a pillow with your hands. Lower your head to rest onto your hands. And again, actively draw your hips down toward the ground. Make an active stretch. Inhale and exhale. And you can always readjust, take more cushions if you'd like to. Totally up to you. And take a moment to just notice each part of your body that is pressing against the earth and grounding you today. Notice how it feels. Maybe it's your hands or your elbows or your knee or something that sticks out to you a little bit more and you notice more. And then gently lift yourself up, plant your hands down, slide your knee back to your tabletop position. From here, lower your seat bones down to sit on top of your heels and take your knees out wide. This is your first option. Plant some pillows behind you. Seat bones onto heels, knees out wide. And then slowly lean backwards. So you might only like to lean very slightly backwards. You may not even take the support of your cushions because you decide you don't want to go too far backwards. Or if you would like to, you can then lower your back and your head down onto your pillows and your arms down by your sides to create a stretch here in your quads. And just take a moment to lie here. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes as well, wherever you are. And if this doesn't feel too comfortable, you have the option to come onto your knees, take your feet out each side, lower your seat bones down onto your hero's pose, and then recline backwards. So again, you can take your hands back behind you. Maybe you'd like to stay here and close down your eyes. Or maybe you'd like to lie down onto your cushions. Or if this is all feeling pretty comfortable and you're not getting the stretch that you want, then you have the option to, in both of these options, to sit on your heels, take your knees out wide and lower all the way down toward the ground. Maybe you'd like to go onto your forearms first and then maybe lie down. And this is your reclined saddle position. In the end, it's a real tight stretch for your quads in particular, but notice where else you might feel some sensation or other sort of sensations that come up as well. If you prefer, you can take your hero knees and do the same thing, like all the way back down, by simply taking your feet out toward the side instead. And maybe you'd like to close your eyes. Notice each part of your body that's grounding into the earth today. Silently repeat to yourself, or out loud if you like, I am grounded. I am grounded. And then silently repeat, I am safe. I am safe. And finally repeat to yourself, I am centered. Very slowly, bring a soft gaze and lift yourself up from this position. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Maybe shake your legs a little bit. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale, fold very slightly, or if you'd like to, you can take a deeper forward fold today. It's totally up to you. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then when you're ready, slowly lower yourself back and lie down on your mat. Stretch your legs out in front of you, bring your palms to face the sky. Allow your feet to drop each side and close your eyes. Relax the muscles around your face. Relax the muscles around your jaw. And throughout the whole of your body. Scan from the very tip of your head, very slowly, to relax every single muscle. Take it down through your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your torso and your rib cage, down through your pelvis, your thighs, ankles and calves, until each part of your body is totally relaxed. And take a moment to notice how you feel right now. If there's any good feeling that you feel, take that with you today. the day, maybe even the rest of the week. Gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and stretch your head out to each side. Hug your knees into your chest. And slowly roll over onto your favourite side. Stay here for a moment. And then in your own time, gently press your hand down to push yourself up to a seated position of your choice. Close your eyes and bring your hands to rest on top of your knees with your palms to face the sky. To close your practice today, we'll repeat 3 times Om. Inhale as you take a deep breath in. And as you exhale very slowly, repeat the word Om. Om. Bring your hands to meet at heart center. The word Om symbolizes everything and is said to translate as literally the sound of everything. Simply by repeating it, it's also said that you connect yourself with the universe immediately. And the earth is what we all have in common. So slowly bow your head down to your hands, Namaste. The light in me honours the light in you. And when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes